Have a great time.
It's just a little too early, if I'm being honest. We gotta hit the sauce. Hello world of YouTube, and welcome to a bit of a vlog, concert recap sort of video. As most of you know, over the past week I was in North Carolina with my buddies Crash, John, and Hannah, and on the last night there we saw the band Remo Drive. Opening acts, Prince Daddy and the Hyena and Field Medic. You know, we're all music guys. We figured on the last night Crash and I were there, we'd go to a show, and Remo Drive were playing. And so we got in, we saw them, and I enjoyed myself. Their two opening acts were bands I'd never heard of before, but I also really enjoyed their shows as well, what parts of what we caught. Because when we got there near the tail end of Prince Daddy and the Hyena set, and it kind of made sense for them to be on the bill with Remo Drive. They have similar sounds. They're kind of cut from the same cloth. Prince Daddy and the Hyena don't bring as much density to their sound, at least from what we heard, as Remo Drive. But I did really enjoy it. I thought they got the crowd pretty amped. And I definitely want to check more into their stuff because I liked what few songs that I had heard while we were there. Field Medic, I really enjoyed his stuff. His whole set was really interesting, and he kind of fit. He had some emo-y cuts that seemed to fit the aesthetic of the other two bands, but his aesthetic was a little more different, and I kind of enjoyed that. Like, Crash brought up that he kind of sounded like David Cross on stage, and that definitely, I agree with that wholeheartedly. He's like if David Cross were a folk musician. He's a hell of a guitar player as well, and he is a one-man band, so he has to really stand out, and I feel like he did. He had great crowd interaction. I liked his banter with the crowd. I liked that he encouraged crowd interaction on some songs and wasn't upset when there wasn't any on others. He was all about the crowd, and he was all about pleasing the crowd, and that was really, I appreciated that. That was really wholesome, and I enjoyed that. I liked there was a moment when he brought a person on stage to sing a song that she did a cover of for him, and they sang it together, and it was really cool. It was Hella Treyway, in the words of Field Medic. I still don't know what the fuck that means. Quick Urban Dictionary search showed that it's an ad-lib used by 6ix9ine to talk about his gang affiliation. I really feel so out of touch with the kids now. But after his set was done, we were all really amped, and Remo Drive finally came on, and they brought the fucking house down. Like, the crowd was amped for the first two acts, but it was nowhere near as intense as it was for Remo Drive. Like, everyone, the pits were bigger, everyone was getting so into it, and it was a fucking killer show. Like, they thoroughly impressed me as a guy who's not that aware of their music. Like, I'm not as much so as a lot of the people there. I was thoroughly impressed, and I have, like, nothing but love and respect for those guys. They put on a hell of a fucking show. You know, the songs that I've heard from pop music and greatest hits that were played live translated beautifully. Their presence is just so forceful. They really get like people amped, and I felt it. I felt the energy in the room. It was fucking astounding. The new cuts they played were really fucking good. I liked the newer cuts that they played. I think that it got me very excited to hear what they bring together. Really chill dudes too, like their stage presence was really lax and chill. The bassist had a little bit of banter with the crowd. It was pretty good. It was pretty fun. They had moments in the show where they had to kind of improvise because the guitarist broke a string, the strap on the singer's guitar kept breaking as well. But they were great. They were really good at keeping the crowd entertained when things weren't necessarily coming together like they should have. There's a lot more heart in the presence here than maybe like in a bigger band where, you know, stagehands can come on and get a replacement guitar. They had to really work with what they had, and it was really cool. I really liked my experience there, and I have a newfound love and respect for Remo Drive. Really all the bands that were there, but Remo Drive especially, given they were the only band I had really known going into the show. We talked to the singer a little bit after the show, and he was a really chill dude. He was really nice, really nice, really lax, and I don't know. They were really tight. I hope I'd get to see them if they came through Indy. You know, I'd hope to get to catch them at some point because I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I thought it was a fucking great show. It was nice to catch a more energetic band in their earlier age, because it was just, I don't know, a lot of the concerts I've been to have been older acts in the later parts of their career, so it was cool to see a band still got a lot of, you know, teeth to show, and I enjoyed myself. I thought it was a great time. And I thank John and Hannah for, again, I've already thanked them a lot, but I thank them for taking us to the show and for getting us in and just showing us a good time. It was a fucking great show, and thank you to all of you who've checked out the channel since my trip there. I really appreciate that as well. Some of the stuff that we shot for my channel, I'll be posting over the next week or so. One of the videos will be posting a little later in the month, and another one will be posting next week, because I've got other stuff I'm also trying to put together. But either way, I'm going to go. I've been Viralrak. You guys are good at lives and situations, and I'll see you another day.